So I've been wondering for a little while now about why so many business people seem to like Trump, so many billionaires. And it may seem obvious at first of, oh, it's just for the money, it's just for the corruption. And I'm sure that's a big part of it, but it can't just be that. Because these are supposed to be smart people. And I know it's kind of the vibe at the time of like, oh, look at Elon Musk, look at whoever. These people are acting like idiots. They think the Antichrist is coming. But to a certain degree, they should be smart people. They built up their companies, they're successful, they've managed to work with a bunch of people, make things happen. There's some level of skills there that they should actually have. And they should be able to see through the everyday common like blowhard and con man who are trying to scam them, who aren't telling the truth, who are just full of bravado like Trump is. But how do they keep falling for it? You have to imagine that even if they wanted to benefit from the corrupt dealings, that they would recognize how untrustworthy Trump is. That as soon as their benefits don't align, Trump is going to throw them under the bus. For example, look at Benjamin Netanyahu right now in Israel. He bet that Trump would be on his side. And to a certain degree, he has been. He's been the most pro-Israel president ever. Goes into Iran for them. Nobody else would even think about doing that because of how stupid it is. But now, Trump's tacoed out, he's left, he's abandoned them, and he's given Iran everything they could ever want to make the destruction of Israel as easy as possible. So my confusion is, why do these people still side with Trump? The incompetence has to eventually make itself known to them. They have to know that whatever they're planning to have Trump do, it's not going to work because he just can't get it done. So I've been thinking about this, and I've put the billionaires and rich business people who support Trump into 3 different categories. The first category is people who are brain broken. This is people who spend too much time on Twitter. They've lost it. They are true fanatics. They believe in what Trump is doing, or at least they believe in something. The next group, the corrupt. This is who you're thinking of. Billionaires who support him because they're going to fill his pocketbook, they're going to bump the stocks, they're going to sell the crypto. They only care about the money. And the final group are the losers. These are people, they just want to be loved, they just want to be accepted, they just want to be part of a group. And that's going to be more common than you expect. So let's start with the brain broken. This is who you're expecting. It's your Elon Musk, it's your Peter Thiel. People who believe the Antichrist is coming. People who believe that the white race is being destroyed and that Trump is the only way around it. Their brains have been destroyed by decades of living in epistemic bubbles, living on Twitter, destroying Twitter. They truly believe that Trump is going to make everything they want come true. Also, in the brain broken category, are the Jewish billionaires. This is your Miri Matelson, Bill Ackerman, Steve Schwartzman. These are people who saw October 7th, and I mean, to a certain degree, if you're Jewish and you see that, it's fair to be a little brain broken, but they went super far. They went way too far with it. They saw probably communists and socialists protesting on campus and thought, those are definitely Democrats. Those people vote Democrat. Those are Green Party voters. They refuse to vote Democrat. So I don't know why they thought Trump was going to fix that. Yeah, the Jews, they had their brain broken. It's unfortunate. But yeah, this group of the brain broken people, they are going to vote for Trump because they think he's going to advance their political causes, whether that be fighting the Antichrist, saving the white race, or saving the Jews. The next group is the corrupt. So this is who you're expecting. This is your Kushners, Charles and Jared. This is your Howard Lutnick, Jeff Bezos. People who, like, they're really just in it to preserve their own power, their own money, to make sure they're successful and they can maintain their own positions of power and authority. and make as much money as possible. Additionally, in this group, you have basically all crypto people. Um, People like the Winklevoss twins, Mark Andreessen, and Tom Bilyeu, people who, under normal times, they would be in prison for scamming people with crypto and NFTs. In the times we're living in, even if they were in prison, Trump would pardon them because they would give him $1 million for his re-election campaign. But they really just want to make some extra money. These are generally the poorest of the bunch, only worth $1 or $2 paltry billion. So they want to make some extra money. And they don't want to go to prison for it because they know that Democrats might actually prosecute them. And then our final group, we have the losers. And I think the primary example of this for me is Chamath from the All In podcast. And he was talking a while ago about how Biden wouldn't return his calls, wouldn't meet with him. But with Trump, you could call him, you could get a meeting, you could talk to him, he would listen to what you have to say, he would listen to your opinion on politics, whatever you wanted. And somehow they think this is a good thing. He really just wants to feel important, feel respected and listened to, because in their normal everyday lives of being billionaires, they never hear no. So the first time they do hear no from a Democrat, it scars them for life. They haven't heard that in decades, not since their girlfriend broke up with them in high school, assuming they were able to get a girlfriend in high school at all. So, we have our losers. Also in this category, Mark Zuckerberg. I was flip-flopping on him. I feel like he's also pretty corrupt, but also a loser. You know, he wants to fit in. He wants to be cool. He wants to be manly. But I'm not sure which comes first. If he's acting manly so that Republicans like him so he can be corrupt, or if he wants to be manly and liked, and that's why he supports Trump, and the corruption is just an extra thing on top of that. Also in the losers category, we have Elon Musk and Jason Calacanis. People who just want to be liked and be cool. So this takes me back to the original question. Why are these people supporting Trump when it's so clear that he's a con man and an idiot? With the brain broken, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, I think these people actually have good reason to support Trump. Because their primary goal is to actually destroy the United States. They want our federal government to fail so they can have their own techno-fascist utopias. And I can't really argue against that. You know, it's not a bad choice. If you want to destroy the US government, vote Republican. For the Jewish coalition, on the other hand, they want a safe home for the Jews in the Middle East. They want Israel to succeed. And Trump is kind of leaving them high and dry there. Went into Iran, chickened out, left Iran, tacoed, gave them $300 billion, a lot of money. Iran is stronger than ever. So I'm interested to see where the Jewish billionaires land in the next elections over the next 2 to 4 years, if they're going to keep supporting Republicans or if they're going to turn their back on them and realize that campus protesters aren't the Democratic Party. Next, the corrupt folks. Now, you may think, hey, the economy's crashing every other week, oil's through the roof, tariffs are a disaster. Why do they still support Trump? And it's because they don't actually care about the exact dollar amount that they have. Yeah, the whole economy may crash. They may go from 60 billion to 30 billion, but everybody else is losing too. And what they really care about is the power and control that their money affords them. So if everybody's losing the same amount, it doesn't really matter to them. What matters is that they can maintain their monopoly and keep buying up competitors. And that's what Democrats were stopping them from doing. Lina Khan, under Biden, was actually going after monopolies, breaking up companies, preventing mergers that would create monopolies, and the Democrats were preventing all types of crypto scams and actually pursuing crimes. This is what the corrupt want to do. They want the control that their monopolies afford them, and they don't want the government getting in the way or making it difficult for them. And that's why they support Republicans, because even if they lose most of their money, they want to be able to control their whole market. The crypto bros, on the other hand, don't think that deep. They just want to be able to keep scamming people, keep gambling, keep gambling, keep gambling, keep gambling, Go on draft leagues, go on Polymarket, keep gambling. The losers will always be losers. All they want is love, and the Trump cult will provide love to them as long as they keep supporting Trump. So I see no real future for these people where they don't support Trump. They all have their own reasons to support Trump, and I can't say any of them are super wrong. Outside of the Jewish coalition, everybody has good reason to support Trump because he is corrupt and he is stupid. Why support a corrupt con man? Because that's who you want. You want somebody who will undermine the federal government. You want somebody who won't go after corruption because he himself is engaged in super corrupt crypto scams. You want somebody who's going to make you feel special because that is what Trump has always excelled at most, making idiots feel special. That is the heart of the MAGA movement. Do you agree with my placements? Let me know. Should I add anybody? Should I move anybody around? Should I change the categories? Leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe. If anybody is watching this, I would not expect anybody to watch this because it's garbage. But thanks.